market and mid, and it should be a blowout. I think for Catface, sorry, they're looking to get as many rounds as possible on this defense because, like you said, there are a little bit of problems when it comes to attack. You lose a lot of mobility, you lose a lot of that information, and you're kind of reliant on two of these players, one of them to be mainly a lurker and one of them to be able to trade your entry fragger, and it's going to be kind of tough. But as I say that, a really aggressive pistol from the start here. Catface pushing that B main with 3 or 4 players, actually.
However,
wall tripped.
There's a wall. Oh, goodness. Madison sets up the battlegrounds on their terms, but is not able to convert. So now all of a sudden you take your attention right over toward the A site. Sounders feel like they've got to go quickly, but there is a razor vine in their way. So you've got to hopefully extend past the wall of their own, and you just end up dashing right into the face of it. Oh my. It's like a car crash. Everything going wrong right now for Otters. They're still able to get onto the site though and take this back to a 4v4. Avery looking for the quick plant. Good reveal, good follow-up from Castro, but the plan is still in 3v4. Quickly now. Looks like Catface want to try to challenge without this post plant get too established, and that's exactly why. You've got Heaven control. You've got all the information in the world. Here's the drop down. There are the eliminations. May, the last one to survive, but it's only feeling like a short amount of time. Castrol's already on for the fuse. Blue Owl is just doing the tango, and that will be the pistol to Catface.
Yeah, that pistol just kind of shows exactly why this comp is so strong on defense. The Vice Wall and the Vines took so much time away from Otters. They weren't even able to get into the site before 3 of these players had already started to rotate and were almost towards that A site. The retake was there. They were ready. They got that really good information, got that spam kill. It was just really, really well played. They were so patient with it as well. Really nice to see. But I think for me, now I'm looking at this, I'm like, dang, this is hard. They're gonna have to bait a lot of these Vice Walls on their attack side here for Otters. They need to be able to bait it because they will not be able to entry on a site as long as there are 2 sets of util from both of these Sentinels. And now that Vice Wall is actually going to be placed towards mid. They're going to spot that Otters. They're going to bait it out and hopefully go for some sort of fast split here because that's where they found so much success.
Well, there is a sentry in the way over towards tree. And yep, that's perfectly timed just as the dark cover gets tossed too. So again, utility timing gonna favor that of Catface. And that's just the windshield wiper of death right there. That's just hold M1, shake your hand left to right and hope. And it works out. First blood good from MEOW.
Yeah, that was kind of wild, but I think, like you said, the timing was phenomenal. That using that Sova drone to re-clear mid right away after that Vice Wall popped was so nice to see.
Well, you can hear the humming of the defensive utility over towards B. Luna not going to bother with the angle. Elaborate right over towards the sidewalk. No problems there. Everyone else was held back. And you could already see the obstacles that have to be hurdled for Otters on this very tight map through these choke points. So it looks like the anti-eco in this particular map should go the way you would anticipate. And these eliminations here will confirm that. Not fully flawless, but it's going to feel like it as Catface dominate map or round number 2.
Yeah, this is a really nice start from Catface. I don't want to be the one to say this in a mean way, but they already have more rounds than they did versus Puppy Thieves, and that's a good sign. Starting on this defense has really enabled this comp for success, and I think that's kind of what they were going for, especially now with these map vetoes. They really hoped it would go this way, and it's looking out really nice. But now we're going to go into that gun round for Otters. They're going to be able to have those weapons online. They're going to be able to take as much space as possible and taking that Vice Wall, baiting a lot of it, breaking that deadlock wall as well, because with pistols it's almost impossible to break, but now they get a really good chance to do that. They're going to grip towards the same main here, Shift, looking to do a fast execute.
First is in. Oasis just trying to play as bait. They only had the Sheriff, but once again, look at all the defensive utility. It's still invested on that HO point. No one else can follow up. So it just ends up being a throwaway life for Oasis, who is just hoping and praying they can start playing the game sometime soon. Sentry over towards mid's going to connect. That will slow down the hit through mid-market, and it will give Catface a chance defensively on B to set up around the Arc Flower on the backside of the site.
The delay shocks are really good, but Elaborate's gonna get this pick onto Avery right away and the executes in shift.
Well, trades will allow them onto site, but here comes the follow-up with the rest of the defense. Spike can be committed for the plant. Spray for Elaborate, not gonna hit. A little bit of battle back and forth with Battison, who will show themselves over towards the backside arches. Smoke now, congesting this backside sidewalk. Still an arc grows on the backside of the site as well for both teams. We're just gonna wait for this dark cover to fade. There's the flash, countered out by one of their own. Even exchange on the site. Burke can only do so much. Leaving Battison by themselves. Has a bit of a lineup. Looking for the double up. There it is. One more. 1v1 to the pistol. Oh, the right click is connecting, but Battison's running out of ammo. No, back to the rifle. Doesn't matter what weapon's in hand. Battison gets it done for the Red Bull clutch.
That was an insane round, but also really expensive for Otters. Look at their buy here. It's going to be so mismatched. They don't have enough for a full buy with full armor on every single player. It's going to be a little bit rough, but they do have that Phoenix ult online. And the way that they've been playing, a lot of these fast plays, looks like they're going to try to do that again towards that A main. But I think for me, it's really rough because when you're looking at this team, they've baited the deadlock util, but then they've run back into where Vice is set up. They know that both these Sentinels are definitely on opposite sides of the map or taking control of different areas. So really interesting to see. And here comes the Phoenix ult.
Oh, and a little bit of damage over towards Tree. Teleporting back into Hell. Will be the only defender on site. That's Blue Owl. Luna stops the jump up. Immediate recontest starting to come through. Nobody checks Hell. Blue Owl able to find one. Follow-up though from Sen Hunters is good. Secondary peek from Luna Fox provides an extra elimination, but it's a 3v2 in favor of the attack. Now it's just down to Kestrel. Annihilation already able to connect onto one. Trying to isolate. Not going to happen. And it's a quick second round response from Honors.
Yeah, that was a really good gamble from Otters because actually there were no Sentis set up on that site. They did have some util down, but Vice was actually playing towards that mid, and then we saw Kestrel towards that B site with all that deadlock util. So definitely a little bit of an interesting shift in the way that Catface is playing, moving the Sentinels on that round. I think they expected a little bit less of a buy from Otters, and they were looking to see a little bit more of a mid play again, but it just did not work out. And now we're going to see them reset back to that default. Sentinels split up on either side. Deadlock on that A. Another fast A.
Look at the battle, though. Catface just saying, you guys want to play with some tempo? All right. We got all these extra layers behind us. So even if you do evenly trade, still, I'm sure we'll feel like there's value there for the defense. And this time it goes 2 for 1. Blue Owl tucked back over towards Wine. Red. And Blue Owl will just sit there and soak up the Razor Vine. Big battle here at mid. Both players still alive and kicking for now, and that will be a tactful retreat. As again, Blue Owls is stuck here, and it looks like Oasis is confirming that. Yeah, we know that he's back here somewhere.
Yeah, I think it's that round was really nice so far because they're on that low buy. Raven Roar getting that initial 2 picks was huge, but Oasis trying to clear out Blue Owl. They're still not giving anything up here for Catface, just holding, playing that patience game. I think it might work out for them because these players have split for Otters. 2 in a main and 1 going towards that Cat.
Well, there's the recon dart. Oasis will give away their position. Shock dart well placed. A little bit of damage into Luna. Big battle here as May tries to clear the corner at Tree. Oh, what a shot from Oasis! Holy cow, what a snap! The first onto Luna, by far the most of the impressiveness, but now it's down to the 1v2. Elaborate's in the right position to try to fight this back. Its problem is just this stinger. May not matter. Oasis is able to connect onto the headshot. Looked like Elaborate was going to get down there, find the kill quickly, but not so fast. Oasis finds 3 and Otters will hold a lead.
Those kills were nasty. That pick on site was kind of insane. Seeing just the pixel above that box on default was kind of wild, but that was a really nice try from Catface. A really, really good, impactful Rifty, actually, because they got so much weaponry down from the side of Otters. And now Otters, they're still able to buy, but it is going to be a little bit scary if they do lose a round like this. But 3 ults on the side of Catface. They're looking to do some sort of setup, especially because they have this Sova ult, maybe ulting off of some sort of trap play.
Yeah.
And now just falling off of this A side. They know they have a really good retake opportunity. And here comes the Sova ult.
It's a lot of stuff. It's more than just the Sova ult. Let the kill feed do the talking for us right now. It is a defense who are holding strong. Again, that barrier orb just blocks entry so dang well. So you try to burst your way through. But the Hunter's Fury stalls it out. The barrier orb draws the line in the sand. And the defense of Catface will hold a 4v2 situation with Otters trying to force their way in. Some blessed spam right there on the cross through tree has Battison stuck. Maybe a chance for one, and yeah, that's all that will come through as we get to a 3-3 tie.
Yeah, this is looking a little bit rough for Otters when they're trying to do just a full execute like that. It's almost impossible. I think Otters, they need to take a timeout here and kind of talk about their plan of action, because when they have the double duelist, that means they have one player who's a little bit more expendable when they're taking into sites. Just send that player in, being able to bait all the util, get past those walls, but also be in a position that even if they're not tradable, it's fine, because you need to go back and take other map control elsewhere. Breaking these trips are so important, especially when you're playing against that deadlock. And just being able to bait a lot of that Vice util as well. The wall on the executes have been so detrimental because you have 4 players that just can't follow up when your Jet is just dashing in.
Yeah, it's so true. And it's one of those situations, like you look just at Oasis to see not just the timing of when they choose to dash, but how much of that Otter utility can actually get onto site to give Oasis a chance, because we already know kind of what's going to happen, right? Like, it's Oasis essentially electing to take a 1 versus at least 2, it feels like, just due to how the map is always playing, and you're also going into the utility setup around it. So it's like you're entering with the hope and prayer that you can get 1. And hopefully it's onto one of the 2 Sentinels that make life a little bit easier for the rest of your squad. And so far, I will say, like, Oasis has been involved in almost every single first blood, whether that be good or bad. It just comes down to the follow-up afterwards has been so delayed because of the comp from Catface that it's so difficult to finish off some of these rounds.
100%. And I think they should also be prioritizing the orb on Phoenix, right?
Sure, yeah.
Trying to get that run it back so many times so that they can at least bait the util with that ult as many times as they can to make sure that they get at least 1 full execute under their belts. But this round, we're looking at Otters. They have that Sheriff on Oasis, which is fine because they still have the ult. And the ult actually for Raven on the Jet has been procced as well. Slower of a round, baiting a lot of that util like we were talking about a little bit, shooting that deadlock wall, but nothing too quick this time.
Well, a little bit of patience. Again, not going to really force Catface to sweat too much. So now it's just down to, can you once more, with a dwindled clock, can you actually burst and execute successfully? It's going to look like it's a B finish here. Tools available are the run it back, so that could be a part of it with an
players shift. There's only 1 player towards B, and it's just the Sova right now.
Yeah. Thing is, you have so many good retake opportunities built in just to have things like the Steel Guard. Luna has to value their life. Able to shut down the first instance of that Phoenix. Silenced out, though, on where the rest is that's coming from. Raven also has the knives to play with. Gives some information away as the door is down to critical health. Battison right there to try to defend. There's a Steel Garden able to shut down the knives before you're affected. The cross is also going to come through. Battison able to get the weapon alive. And here comes the isolation. Or is it? Battison again. Undeniable. 2v4. Defense in a position to where they kind of had to make a choice quickly, because Oasis is just going to take it away from them if they sit and wait. Huge shots coming out of the Blade Storm, and it's Otters up 4-3.
That was really nice. I'm glad to see them doing a little bit more of a slower default at that beginning. Just shooting that wall towards A, pulled 2 rotates over towards that A site. They were waiting for some sort of rehit because they knew the util was down. But then this as well, using the Phoenix ult to get rid of that Vice wall on the entry. And then, of course, Battison pushing, knowing that there's going to be so much util coming in soon and that their retake is going to start pushing, getting a lot of those picks and being able to deny off of the contact right away. It's so nice. But now, Catface shift, they're back on the Thrifties, and we know how these go. So a full mid push
For
here.
real. And that mid push will ultimately end up in favor of Catface. May not be done yet, though, as Battison is still in the picture. And I feel like anytime Battison is still alive, there's a chance to at least make things interesting. 3v3. Again, Catface is in a position of bother with their utility. Rar has got nowhere to go. And that will lead it now to a numbers advantage and a weapon advantage here for Otters in round 8.
Yeah, and both sentinels are dead, so you don't have to worry about any of those traps actually still being up. But a really nice flank from Luna just walking up, but Invert, they're holding this already.
Chance for it, shut down immediately. Blue Owl, what you got for us? Tough position to be sure. The Prowler will be heard moving over towards tree, and at least Blue Owl will know where they need to be headed to, but that's just part one of about a 15-step problem they need to solve.
Yeah, Blue Owl, they've been insane at these clutches, but this is really hard to do. And I think for Sun Otters for this round, their discipline has been so nice. I know I've said this so many times, but just holding, knowing that Catface is going to go for some sort of equalizer, try to get the numbers back down, try to get a free pick. They're just holding every single angle together. It's nice to see. And those two smokes going down. Blue Owl trying to get one, does get a pick onto Avery, but it's a 2v1 now, Shift.
Yeah, the time is maybe the biggest issue. Oh, almost able to find some more isolation onto Battison, but once again, every time you feel like you're saying the word Battison, you're coming into a position of, yep, they've got that, no problemo. So 5-3 the count. Full purchase coming back into play here, though, for Catface. Problem is, we're still pretty far from ult, so it's going to have to be done the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, I'm looking towards Otters to just keep that same tempo again, right? Just being slow, beating the deadlock wall, being able to shut it down, break it, and just play with the rotations a little bit, because they know that Catface like to overextend sometimes, or at least over-rotate. We saw it a lot on that first map too, where they're so quick on getting into those retake positions, and now we're going to see it again. But some info, using the Prowler to get a main, free orb again for Invert, getting that Phoenix Cell online, which is really important as well. But the Sova drone from defense side makes MEOW get all this space towards B main.
Shoulder scene, Blue Owl. Maybe pushed here, but Maze by themselves. Tries to isolate. Yeah, careful. Lucky to still be alive, and that's enough info to say, okay, there's two at tree. Let's just go ahead and burst over towards B, but Luna steps up perfectly. What a decision to find the timing for that shoulder. Invert will grab the orb, and honestly, for Sun Otters, all of a sudden with 50 on the clock, this is not going to feel great to try to hard hit into.
Yeah, they heard the noise of Vice. They heard the util. And because of that, Luna Fox got that free pick onto Battison, and it's looking really rough because they've lost that Steel Garden and their player that's 11-6 right now. Little bit scary, and all that information from Blue Owl is going to be delivered. They saw Invert in that main. They don't know that Oasis is still here really close. And now time is running out. Shift Otters, they're gonna have to end towards this B site.
I mean, surely Catface knows that this is going to be a B hit, and yeah, now they will. They may be a small moment of second guessing if there was a lurk over towards the other side of the map, but Avery is just trying to force the square peg into the round hole, and apparently it fits. Problem is, you're in a 1v everything, and they may have lined up. Blue Owl, Paranoia comes through, tries to teleport across, and that's enough to kill off the clock for the round. Oh, goodness, did Avery almost just pull a rabbit out of a hat, though?
Oh my gosh, the Odin spam on Ascent is the reason why everyone hated it at the beginning, and I think that was almost one of those rounds where it came back to haunt everyone who's played Ascent ever. But really, really interesting round again. It's really hard when you lose Battison right at the beginning of the round for Otters. But MEOW, they did a really good job. They're starting to get a little bit more mid-round information over and over again, using that Sova drone, using the Omen TP, and as well as just getting those picks off of info. The audio keys is so nice. I think that's kind of more of what they need to be doing, like a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more active with their information gathering. And that shoulder is going to be spotted, but Oasis is going to whiff that shot, but on the other side of the map, Elaborate getting a pick onto Battison.
This next move could be huge, as Blue Owl has not, I believe, seen the cross on delay. Oh, had the scope up the ADS and maybe may have had an opportunity to slip underneath it, but not the case. So we'll get to a 5v3. We're not done, but Elaborate is in a perfect position with this judge, although Oasis lurking, finding the connection. Oh, it almost gets all of Luna as well. That would have been a disaster for Catface. But instead, it's a shock dart in retaliation. The defense will rotate over to congest the B site.
pausing before the re-hit is really nice here, and the Phoenix Ult is out onto site already.
Defense gonna let that slip through, so Oasis will drop, try to contest over through mid, and yeah, that's just the perfect decision. We don't care about invert getting through. They have to go back. So Catface get the perfect read. Defense coming to life here late into the first half. We're tied at 5 going into round 11.
Yep, 5 rounds is good, but again, Shift. They need so many rounds for Catface here on this defense side. I was expecting a little bit more towards 8. I think 8 rounds would have been a lot better because their attack side, it's going to be pretty hard with 2 Sentinels. But they're definitely coming back into this. They're able to win out these last 2 rounds. It would be so important. And this round is one for them to potentially win. Otters, they do have a Sheriff on Battison. They're also kind of on a weird buy. They have these weapons and these rifles here. But trap play is not going to work out. They do scan Avery all the way in the back, but that's so much information now that no one's towards 8, and the B hit has come in.
But Elaborate is able to hold strong. Now all the defensive utility can get here to try to assist and give them some more time to work with. Luna able to find one more. Elaborate is still hanging around. Holy cow, what a defensive hold this has been. I know it's in the face of a limited purchase, but still, this has been clean. Annihilation trying to come out. Elaborate, though, does not need the help. Wow. Very well done. Avery now last one left. This would be Reddit worthy. 1v4. Aldrone able to tag. And that is all you need. Clean. All of a sudden from Catface here defensively, they kick back the lead 6-5 up.
Yeah, I really want to shout out Luna Fox's util usage on Sova. It's been absolutely phenomenal, and one of the main reasons why they've gotten so good at their mid-round rotates these past few rounds. Able to get so much information. Luna Fox is using either the dart or the drone really well, and every single time we've seen those rotates be a little bit more impactful while Vice is able to hold it down. Elaborate, of course, getting those picks was really important. But again, Otters forcing themselves into a weird buy. 3 Guardians across the board. Gonna be a little bit harder for them to get these initial peaks, and another aggressive play from Raven.
I love it. See if you can feel out some early space. But outside of that, not much to be found. A little bit of mid focus here for Otters. We haven't really seen much of this. Catface will clear with the Aldrone. All they'll see is the Phoenix, but that's enough to have Luna Fox planted and set up to try to defend anything through mid.
Yeah, they know that Otters now have kind of taken a new kind of default into their hands because they know that they haven't been setting any of that Sentinel util towards that mid site anymore. And that wall is going to actually be broken by the Prowler. So Avery, knowing that, calling that, and Battison trying to get a lurk towards that D-main as well. Otters, they're set up here for an A split. But Battison is going to try to get a pick first to pull any of those rotates.
Yeah, why not? Get over towards tree. Curveball ready. Percent Otters plus the Prowler. Actually, kind of stay away from the flash effect, but it doesn't make a difference. Inverse able to find 2. This would get us to a 6-6 half. Rar only able to find 1. Elaborate, though, does get the lurkers, so it keeps the focus here with a really prime opportunity to use the Steel Garden to maybe make this 2v3 manageable. Avery will start it off with a Nightfall first. 1 Tendril connects. It's on to Luna. There's the Steel Garden. Invert's got nowhere to go. Neither does Avery. Right click does a significant amount of damage, though. But it may not make a difference. It's just down to Invert. And they're still not able to get the Invert. Oh, no, not going to get the weapon back up. And Luna, right before the timer expires, is able to find the Elim, and it's a 2v3 for Catface to finish the half.
Yeah, that was really nice. Elaborate. Good timing on the ult, of course, as well. Really good job from Luna, just holding it down, waiting, and making sure that they have the time to have that retake. I think this is a really good round, really good half, actually, for MEOW to be able to get as many rounds as possible. 7 rounds, that's pretty good. And now if they win this pistol and snowball a couple more rounds, it should be what they expected out of this comp. But again, it's kind of hard. I mean, you're definitely not going to get lurked on. That's for sure, no matter what you do. But you have such limited util when it comes to being able to push into sites, getting past those choke points. You definitely do not want to let MEOW get into those post plants, though, for Otters, because the amount of util they have to delay anyone getting onto site and denying the retake is going to be kind of insane. But this pistol, starting off with 4 players towards mid, a little bit of a mid default, taking it kind of quick, running up towards Cat, but it looks like they're just going to try to get towards that market space, holding it down, trying to get any of those overextensions from Otters.
Well, this Vice wall at mid will be challenged or just tiptoed on. As the defense interested, though, actually kind of pulls. This is kind of curious. Has Avery committed here to at least throw an extra bit of utility? Nothing home, and at least for now, doesn't punish the B setup too much. But that haunt cooldown could be huge. Problem is, May is behind you. Battison's in front of you. You just don't get a read on that, and how possibly could you?
Yeah, that was a really nice crunch. Oasis getting that pick onto Kestrel. Now all of a sudden a 2v5 here. Players, they have the full B site, but that doesn't really matter because it's 5 of these players that are able to retake. You still have those smokes on Omen. You still have that Molly as well onto Invert. So it's going to be kind of hard to hold it, but they do have the dart and the shock still on Luna.
Well, defense moving quickly. A little tag there from Luna. Invert's able to find the first. Labyrinth going to be stuck on the reload. Good counter flash though coming through, giving themselves a chance, but the follow-up is good. And Sen Otters will be back to within 1 with the pistol win here in the second half.
Yeah, this is not what MEOW wanted. They really needed to win that pistol so they could get ahead in any way possible because they do not want to play as many rounds on this attack side. They really need to focus on that. But it was really well played from MEOW. That push, by Otters, that push in a main by Ming. First of all, getting so much information just by walking all the way up, and then the timing for Battison to be crunching and peeking from market as well. Really well done. I think these players on Otters have talked about their discipline, but this time their aggression and their timing was phenomenal and actually saved the round for them because they lost that Vice wall so early on.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just not one of those rounds you expect to come to fruition kind of like that, but it's clean. Sen Otters.
Yeah.
Again, that's another point, is not just the focus on the defensive win there for Sen Otters, but the offensive struggles for Catface historically with this comp on this map are potent. So missing out on the pistol feels not like a death sentence, but you're definitely on trial. That much is for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, and right now they're just holding for an aggressive peak, which I think makes sense based on the way that Otters has played, especially in that Pearl game on their second round. They're really good at holding back, but eventually they did group up and do something a little bit more aggressive. So now just grouping here for Catface, trying to do what they can. The Elaborate's going to be the one lurking actually with the bias.
Well, Razorvine, as everyone's legitimately stopped. Dude, that was such a crazy third-person obs perspective right there. Like, it's just everyone's just sitting like the game froze.
That's so funny. Blue Owl just standing there accepting their fate. It's really funny. Oh man, but yeah, okay. Now we're gonna see a gun round though, coming in from MEOW, and I'm really excited to see kind of what they have set up for us in terms of Catface, what defaults they have, how they're gonna be able to use this util that they have from the Vice, from the Deadlock, in order to set themselves up for success and take a lot of map control. Because for me, when you have someone like Sova, you're able to kind of scale up really well with util. But again, the only player to do that is Raven. And Otters are going to counter with a nice little mid push here. Might be held by Kestrel, but the scan is actually going to get them.
Well, Catface is just going to kind of commit to fighting on these terms. Sen Otters is trying to capitalize on the isolation, but it's coming up a bit short here. Kestrel's still alive, and now you have to worry about that crossfire from B main. But Otters are still going to commit forward. What in the hell is that? Are we kidding? That's either the craziest micro flick I've ever seen or buy a lottery ticket, because what in the world?
Every time I think, hey, I should just come back and start playing again, I see clips like that and I'm like, never mind. I can't hit those shots anymore. I'm too old for this. I can't do that.
Spike planted.
Oh man, that was almost a really good thought out plan from Otters. They like a lot of this contact play, walk up, being quiet, and then being able to crunch on a player that they've caught off guard. But I think Catface, they knew something was up. They turned around, they spotted Avery towards B main, and Avery was actually isolated, unable to get traded. And just, instantly got picked off, and they lost that kind of edge to their play. And now Battison trying to desperately get one with this bulldog, but gets dropped by Raven. I think this Catface round was really nice to see, just really slow, holding it down. And they also have every single weapon in their arsenal still. They didn't lose a single player, absolutely flawless. And I think now we're going to see this gun round. It's going to be super interesting coming in from the first round.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, again, the importance feels heightened as we get into these gun rounds. But yeah, that is an insane display right there from Kestrel. But up one against full weapons with an operator at Odin on the other side, again, just feels super critical, even though we're very early on, not just in this half, but it also feels like it could be very early on in this game. So see what we get. Luna is very close to Hunter's Fury, and that might be kind of the other conversation point here, Athena, is like, do we just need to have good ultimate usage to open up space where we're having difficulties off the double sentinel comp?
Yeah, being able to clear a whole line of sight is really nice, like being able to make sure that no one is on site. But I think also for Lunafox, the biggest thing that they're going to be able to do is using those shocks to get rid of as much util as possible, so that when Raven Roar is executing onto site, they're not kind of getting bogged down by all that util. But Blue Owl is getting pushed on right now.
Yep. A little bit of trouble. Revealed, trying to keep their life, but Invert will punish. Op out to watch over through tree. That's not what you want to see if you're a MEOW fan. That's your jet off the table, and now you've got to try to find a way to get onto B with, you guessed it, a Deadlock, Vice, and Sova. Just like this hit's going to be slower than a warm plate of molasses.
30 seconds left.
Why does it have to be a warm plate?
I don't know. It feels like a cold plate just kind of loses the effect of the molasses. Hard to say, but regardless, they're stuck in the mud here, Athena.
Yeah, a 1v4 here for Lunafox is looking really rough. Completely covered, but as I say that, Luna gets a pick onto Avery, but with 8 seconds on the clock, there's nothing that they can do. Oasis getting that 3 pick with the op, and I think Oasis is actually going to have the time of her life on this map now, because you don't have those Phoenix flashes around corners to bully you. You don't have the Prowler to push you off an angle. The most is Lunafox's drone and the dart. And I think if you have someone paired up with you, just being able to break a lot of that util right away, it's really free for Oasis to be able to go for those aggressive peaks, to be able to just hold down the line and get so much information based off that. On the other hand, for Catface, I'm looking at Elaborate to be a little bit more in the front here, because that Vice Flash is going to be the only thing that they really have to go off of the Sova drone, to go off of that dart and be able to set up Raven for success.
Like that call. Let's see what exactly we get. Hunter's Fury going to be called out first. Raven trying to dive in, but the finesse of the smoke is not good enough. The ping's also not enough to push Battison that far off, and May is going to step up into a position that you just maybe wouldn't expect. Getting one is fine. Steel Garden called in for Battison, who's waiting for help to arrive. Haunt behind the play. Invert already calling in to see if they can find a way to assist with the run it back. But Elaborate's able to find one. Dance with the temple a little bit on top of the site. That's enough to actually kill time for the return back to the initial spawn point for the Phoenix. And with that kill, Elaborate's got a chance. Oh! To not just do a little toe tapping with the hot hands, but also hit a Steel Garden of their own. And we're going to reset the 2v3. Quick little lurk. Trying to isolate on the Kestrel. Ooh. Took an accidental shot right there, I think, with the op shot ahead of them. And that's enough information to follow up on. Elaborate. What do you have for us at a 1v3? Especially with an op still in mind, the answer, not much. Avery takes the angle away first, and Otters will go up by 1.
Yeah, this is looking really rough now for Catface. I think they've tried the fast execute, they've tried the slow baits. The only thing that's kind of worked for them is when Otters has tried to do something a little bit more aggressive on their low buy, and they punish that. And I think it's not looking too good, because again, you don't have that much mobility. Raven Roar is going in essentially by herself every single round, and there isn't that much supportive util other than the dart or the drone. That's why I mentioned Elaborate using their flash with Vice to kind of set themselves up for success, or at least try to do something to help Raven. But it's just not looking too good, Shift.
No, it's not. It's close. That's the thing. Yeah, it feels so close. But when you miss out on that extra late execute utility because of the double sentinels, it really forces you to have to command space.
Yeah.
By what? Like, really just the combination of a paranoia, recon dart, and a dive in from Raven. But the problem is, Otter are just getting so many early first bloods, it stalls out the ability for MEOW to stack that utility, and now you're always fighting off the back foot.
Yeah, because Catface is getting just kind of desperate now, trying to go for these peaks. I mean, Elaborate trying to get a first pick there, but Madison shutting it down. It makes sense. The desperation is there because they know that they cannot just execute into sight. It's not been working out for them, so they're falling back to these things, but Avery's just going to punish Raven, and there goes your duelist.
Well, stuck between a rock and a hard place. There would have to be a disaster here for Otters to drop this round. They will lose Oasis for now. The op will be salvaged. And Blue Owl.
30 seconds
Yeah, might as well grab the orb first, and then confirm that you'll have it from the shadows next round. Madison will shut down any heroics, and we'll get to double digits here for Otters.
Speak up and ask
Yeah,
questions.
it's a little bit rough, but I think Otters are doing a really good job too at not overextending. Like I said, Oasis has so much freedom with the op as long as there's someone just around her to make sure that they get those picks, to get the picks on the drone or to break the dart for them, because it's really easy for them to just set up. And I think they're playing really well around it too. Madison's not overextended, but still able to get that B main control. And I think as well, Avery getting really good information. Usually when you have double duelists, you see them go for super aggro plays all the time, and they get punished. But they're just doing such a good job. And I think here, 4 players towards B, not a bad shout, just gambling and leaving Madison on a site all alone, because they do have so much util set up for themselves, and their retakes were really good when their rotates were super fast. So it makes sense, but again, Catface needs to find an opening here.
Yeah, they really do, and they may have an opportunity here. Kestrel's just trying to... Wow, that's actually well-placed barrier orb. Will stop the defensive rotation into A, so it really is just on to Madison. Arcros used first blood good, and actually is able to utilize the smoke from Raven to get a second. Thank you very much. Elaborate. Oh, the timing here could be huge, but just misses the window literally. May now on site, 1v2. Can't find one, though. 2v3 situation. Oasis will have the knives on the retake attempt. And the utility dump continues to be poured in from the shadows. Will be moved over towards B. Blue Owl will get the commitment, but you leave Elaborate by themselves, and the spam is just better from the Odin. Blue Owl, 1 versus 3. And they've got a world to fight against in what could be a critical round overall. Do you just push through this? Hope you can get some headshots on the early connection. Finds the first. Knows there's a second nearby.
Cover going out.
Smoke will go through. Spam comes out, but Oasis holds the exit, and that is a key round for Otters, now up 11-8.
That's really nice, and now that's going to put Catface in a little bit of a bad buy again. It feels like round after round now, they've just been struggling to get their economy together. They've obviously been snowballed. Kestrel's had this deadlock for so long, unable to use it because there's no chance really, and it's just falling out of their hands at this point. Madison doing a phenomenal job for Otters, delaying on site, getting those 2 picks, almost getting a third, and being able to just be that anchor that they need, especially because 4 players were nowhere near. And it's just looking rough. But we are going to see a buyback. We're going to see those Guardians coming in, half armors. It's okay. But I'm really looking for them to have some sort of plan here. Looks like they're going to start by baiting a lot of this B util, making noise, and going back towards A.
Yeah. Oh, so much pressure here on the MEOW. Must win round. Otherwise, you're sitting on force purchase arsenal to try to get to overtime. Annihilation is at the ready. Knives are close. Oh, no.
Ooh.
You may as well take off the hand. And that's enough for a huge first blood to go the way of Otters.
Yeah, it's so hard when your Sova's not there to get any information, and you're just hoping that Oasis isn't posted, but that's one of those rounds that I was talking about where Oasis just gets so much freedom shift.
Yeah. Well, who's going to fight back? Well, that will work. Maybe more, and yes, there are more. Okay, good from Kestrel for 2. that changes the dynamic of the round completely because now both duelists are gone for Otters. That puts a lot of pressure onto Battison. Maybe on top of that, Avery's got to be perfect with their utility if they can even earn it back in time before the hit comes through. Not going to happen. Nightfall would be at the ready, but Avery will drop. That was just onto Battison. Able to find one, not able to snap for the second. And that's enough for Catface to gain control of the A site and likely the round.
Yeah, Kester getting those 2 picks was phenomenal. Actually, the round turner. The round actually swung into Catface's favor because of that. And that was so important. Oasis getting caught off guard with the off. Now May in this 1v3 gets one. Lunafox on one. Nice to spam hell. Gets another.
Wow.
1v1 shift.
And it's going to be down to, whoa, I thought for maybe the shorty. Paranoia is ready, trying to steal away the site. That will work for a moment. Oh, but he ran out of mission. And Blue Owl is able to save it. Oh, goodness.
That was so scary for a second. Oh boy, but if you're Otters, you're not faltering from that one round because they know that this right here, those 2 kills from Castro were the reason why that round turned on his head. And also Battison wasn't able to get any more than just one on that pick, but it's fine. They still have economy. I think they still have 4 ults online here too, so they're able to play retake when they need to. Still probably going to leave Battison alone. And I say that Oasis is playing to get that B main, and instantly this fast push shift.
Nightfall here. Catface able to back away. That is huge. Yes, they take away a lot of the map, but keeping all 5 players is huge here for Catface. Counter Hunter's Fury out of the back pocket. Will connect. Castro responds to Oasis showing aggression. And how about the knives from Raven across the middle of the map? We have a 4v2, but Battison is still alive. And Arcos will have Raven just absolutely mixed up, but Battison's 1 is not going to be enough. It's on to invert for a 1v3. And honestly, they may try to go quickly here. One curveball to play with. Firewall for maybe a touch of separation. They get a little bit of a lineup, but Blue Owl's able to snap and save the round, and we're down 1. Still plenty of life in the lungs here for Catface.
Yeah, Catface, they're punishing a lot of Otter's aggression. They're punishing those peaks, the 1-by-1s, kind of no one being able to trade either. It's really nice to see them, but they're able to hold these things really well. But when it comes to Otters, I'm looking at them to stop doing anything way too aggressive because that's how they've been punished now, 2 rounds in a row. I think that A main fight was fine, but then the ult from Lunafox to punish was just one of those things where you know that you're going to get some sort of counter from Catface. They're just so good at holding back, especially with those 2 Sentinels. It's really tough for them to get any of those entries, so Otters, they just need to not give it to them.
Wow. This changes a lot of what we would have maybe expected in these next couple of rounds due to the fact that not only are you looking at ultimates that are coming into play, you're dealing with what could be potentially a broken economy after this round right here for Sen Otters.
Yeah.
So the timeout is very appropriate. What are you looking for? Who are you calling out here if you're Catface to try to step up and take this thing to a tie game?
I think if I'm Catface, I'm really looking at Elaborate once again. I think Lunafox has been doing a phenomenal job so far with the util and now with the fragging as well. But Elaborate really needs to be able to get those lurks in because so far they've just been punished on the other side of the map almost every single time by Battison. But what I like to see from Otters is that the op is now back online. And this A main contest is going to go up.
Well, Oasis may get a chance here at mid. Good shoulder. Minute 20. No real threat emerging yet in terms of where Catface want to go. But with that information on where the op is, yeah, I like this call. To stay away from it, you can block out market, you can block off B long, and you can just try to flood and eliminate the opportunity for the op to hit.
Yeah, and Battison's wall is actually towards mid, so there isn't going to be that much delay now. It's just on Battison to be able to get that pick and get some sort of fight to delay the retake long enough.
I'm actually surprised Battison's picking this corner to fight from, to be honest with you. I would have thought for sure Battison would want to stay alive so the Steel Garden can come into play, but now all of a sudden you're annihilated. Oh man. I mean, this setup all looked like Sen Otters were banking on things like a run it back, like a Steel Garden, but Battison picks a corner that is harder to get away from, and now all of a sudden it's a 5v4 post plant.
Yeah, that was really hard and not a good position to be in for Battison. Definitely should have considered that option, but Kestrel's holding this flank and 3 players are here.
And you've got a Vice Wall to stop off the flank. Invert for 1, shut down, nowhere to go with the grab net connected. Elaborate still holding this corner. No one has checked yet. No one's going to check at all. And the Vice Wall will pretty much determine that Avery should be looking to back out of this, but is able to take down 2.
No charges.
That actually changes things. Hold on a second. Avery's going to give this an opportunity just to go, but time is becoming a bit of an issue. And that is every post-plant defender's dream. Knowing that there's just nowhere to go, Avery will find an impressive 3rd elimination, but it will matter not. Everyone will drop as we spawn into round 23, tied at 11.
Yeah, I thought this was going to be essentially Otters taking the game and running away with it, but all of a sudden these past 3 rounds, they've 1, equalized the rounds, and 2, they've put Otters actually at a low buy for this round to take them to 12, so it's kind of insane. And I think you already pointed out the mistakes there, the positioning from Battison, banking on those ults to be able to retake and delay long enough, so it's too hard to kind of understand the faults and why they were made. But now Catface, they're gonna keep punishing a lot of these small little mistakes, and they've done a phenomenal job so far. They know that they're going to be on a Thrifty, just holding Raven Roar, getting that first pick onto May. But this is exactly what I'm talking about. Catface just able to take a lot of that aggression and punishing it for Otters.
Okay. Could we potentially be seeing the makings of a round or map 3 being brewed here in round 23? Feels likely. But with a Steel Garden and Sheriffs in play, you never know. Here comes the development of the setup over towards A by the look of it here, though, for Catface. And it'll be all 5 players flooding from the front. Invert is the one currently standing guard. But Oasis will early rotate. There's a chance you can try to hold this, especially that Prowler guaranteeing information. Next shot, so they line up! No! Luna's able to connect, though, with the shock dart. Now it's just down to chaos. Oasis trying to find a weapon, is able to get one. Oh, but what weapon do you want?
Whoa.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, Avery connects. And Blue Owl, who was channeling a paranoia, may have potentially missed out on a map point round winning kill. And now we're down to 20 seconds with a desperate rotation through mid.
Battison set up on site too. They have the flash. They're able to play backside. They get that Vice Wall in. That's the info. And all these players are rotating over shift.
You could hit Steel Garden here if you're Battison just to kill time. Flash goes first. First shots miss. Time is the issue. There's the Steel Garden. Avery able to follow up onto one. Spike planter was killed. You don't have a chance to get the spike planted. What a save from Otters on match point.
I can't believe it. I'm actually speechless right now. This was insane. Oasis with the 2K. Avery getting the pick on the lurker, and then the delay was just phenomenal. Avery getting the pick onto Blue Owl was really big too, to delay that spike going down. What a nice round. And I think now, this is crazy that Catface all of a sudden, after winning 3 rounds in a row, they're on this bye. They're not able to get not able to get that last round to put them onto match point. It's gonna be crazy, but Oasis is spotted out in mid.
That's huge. You can take away that space very quickly if you'd like to. But Luna will instead just throw a shock dart out and will join the effect over towards B. This could potentially be the game. Help on the way. Oh, Raven! Shut down by Oasis, who's there in the nick of time. Razorvine also denied. And it looked like a perfect isolation from Catface, but Oasis steps in at the right moment, and all of a sudden it's a 5v4.
And I really like the pathing from Raven to take into heaven instead of trying to get onto site and scale towards lane, because they got that good delay, but Battison's still holding this lane.
Dark cover will delay what looked to be an immediate follow-up hit from Catface. Now they can choose to kill away some more of this clock and keep this defense spread. It is a 4v3 by numbers on this approach through B main. Problem is, Battison's got a wall to play off of, and the first entry of this dark cover. There's the wall to essentially save their own life. Caught with the bow out. May's able to find another on the Luna. More on the corner. It's going to end in favor of Otters unless Kestrel can pull off a miracle. Not going to happen. What an absolute thrilling map. but it'll end 2-0. All things told, Otters move on. Catface, unfortunately,